All right, let's add materials to our objects. And so I got this strange camera angle. The easiest thing to do is just select table in the object manager, hit the letter O on your keyboard, and there you can see all your objects. And notice this is not my render view, but like I have this, you can see the edge of the seamless background here. So let me check to make sure I can't see the edge of my seamless background through my render camera. So I'm going to come over here, hit the icon to look through my render camera, and I can see that everything looks good. I don't see the edge of my seamless background. So make sure you look through your render camera, and if you do see an edge of a seamless background, you have to move the background. Okay, so let me disable the render camera. Okay, so you can use any colors you want to. The only restriction is that these three objects have to be reflective. So I'll step through how to put materials on each of these objects. The way I'm thinking of this is I'm going to have three brightly colored reflective objects. So I want my tabletop to be kind of neutral, but it does have to have a texture applied to it. So let me hit double click in the materials manager down here, make a material, double click again. Let me name this right away as table. And let me think what I want to do here. For the table, I'm going to enable the color channel. Next to the word texture is a drop-down menu. Hit the drop-down menu, and there's scroll down and choose surfaces. And there's a lot of surfaces that you can scroll through and look at and see what you like. Try to get something that's within the realms of reality. Like metal, rust would work maybe. I'm going to choose marble, and you can explore these different surfaces. Like if you click on the preview here, you see like you can change the parameters, like you can change the color of the marble and so on and so forth. You can mess around with these frequency and turbulence to see what happens, but I'm going to leave it at the default marble, and so that's done. That's the table texture. I'm going to click, hold, and drag table texture onto table in the object manager, and then there's no surprises there. It's marble. Hooray! All right. Double click, making a new material. I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll make the sphere red. Maybe a reddish orange would be nicer, and the pyramid blue and the tube green. I might add some transparency to the tube. I don't know, but let's make the sphere color. So double click on the material, name it right away sphere. And again, you can make this any color you want, but it has to be a reflective material. So everyone disable the color channel, click on reflectance, and with the reflectance selected, click add, and you get these different choices. To make a base color, we're going to choose Lambertian, which is a matte color. So choose Lambertian. Choose any color you want by clicking on this color picker, and you can switch from RGB to HSV, which is hue, saturation, value. To me, it's a little bit easier. Hue, saturation, value slider is a little bit easier to use. So I want like an orangey red, but I don't want anything like too gross. So I'm going to crank down the value a little bit, and that looks pretty nice. Okay, so that's the parameters I'm going to use for my base red color. Now I want this reflective, so click add, choose GGX, and this is the reflective material, but we can't see our base color. That's because we have to go down to layer Fresnel, hit the drop down menu, and you have to enable the Fresnel. So hit that drop down menu and choose dielectric, and now we can see our base color, and it's like this orangey red, which is what I was hoping to get. So that's cool. Let me click, hold, and drag the sphere material and drop it on the sphere. And there we go. Let's make the pyramid color. Name it right away, pyramid. Disable the color channel. Click on reflectance, same process. Add a layer, add a Lambertian layer. I want to make this like a nice royal blue. So squarely in the blue sections, between blue and this cyan, because I don't want it like a purple hue to it, because that would look weird with orange. And get this nice French blue going on here. So those are the parameters I'm going to use, and you can always change these, later. Choose any color you want. Click OK. Same thing, we got to make it reflective. Going to add a GGX layer. The roughness determines like how reflective it is. So like if I drag the roughness to the right and increase it, it has more of this brushed aluminum feel. And just to add some variety, I think I'll crank up the roughness to like maybe 25. And if I don't like it, I can always come back and change it. Again, we can't see the base color. So open up Layer Fresnel. And for Fresnel, choose Dielectric again. And this is the preview that I get. Kind of a softer royal blue or French blue, and so that looks pretty cool to me. I'm going to click, hold, and drag the pyramid material, drop it on the pyramid. Ta-da! And you guessed it, we're going to make the tube color. Disable the color channel. Add a Lambertian layer. I'm going to make this like a green because I got this RGB kind of thing going on, sorta. So let's make it green that's drifting towards the blue edge of the color spectrum. And I don't want this saturated. I want, something kind of a pea green. I don't want to get too saturated with this one. And let me see here. This one I might come back and change later. I'm going to click that OK, and you guessed it, we're going to add a layer. We're going to add a GGX layer. I'm going to keep the roughness at the default. Click Layer Fresnel. Click Dielectric. Yes, this is getting repetitive. Hey, you know what? Let's add transparency to this one. Because it's a tube, it might be kind of interesting to look through the tube just a little bit, but not a lot of transparency. So let's enable the transparency channel, and the brightness defaults to 100%, and we can barely see it. So let's crank down the brightness to like 20. Let's see what happens. That's too much. I want to see through it a little bit. So, and again, I might come back and mess around with these parameters. So I got the brightness of the transparency set at 40%, which I think is just enough to give it some interest. I don't want it like glass-like, but I would, I think this might just add some design interest to it. Oh, and let's call this tube. Okay, I'm going to save my file, Command S or Control S. The PC, clicking, dragging the tube. Okay, so just to render this with no lights, that's what we got so far. Yippee, this is not through my render camera. Okay, so now we got to add color to our backdrop. Double click to make a new material. Double click on that. Let's call this background or backdrop or whatever the heck you want to call it. This one, what we're going to do is make this a purely matte surface. I'm wondering if, yeah, let's use the reflectance channel. So let's deselect the color channel, select reflectance, add a Lambertian matte finish. Lambertian just means, matte color. And we're going to make this black. Or actually, depending on your aesthetic, you can make the background white or black if you want to. You can make it gray if you want to. I wouldn't make the background any colors for this exercise. Double click on the, or click on the color picker. All I have to do is move the V value down to 0, and I'll make it appear black. I'm going to keep it at 5%. So this is going to be my matte black color. Click OK. Grabbing the backdrop color and dropping it on the seamless back up here. So that's what we got so far. Let me just do a quick render. This is not through the render view, but you know, that's looking cool. Let me enable the render camera and just do a quick render by hitting the director clapboard up there. And I can already see that there's like some cool stuff going on. I can see some flecks of material in the tube and the pyramid and everything. So that's looking pretty good. I think when we add some lights to this will look pretty cool. All right.